streaming has not started on their end.
Okay, I think
So it's not live yet.
I can
It's not
see
live
you
on
live.
YouTube
Wale,
yet.
sorry, Wale, please can you give us feedback? Because you are the one that is on the YouTube right now. What's happening on YouTube?
Yeah, so on YouTube, I think people the screen is displaying on YouTube. Can you hear me? The screen is displaying on YouTube.
My full screen.
Yes, the full screen is displaying. Yeah, it's showing everything you need to know about the Commonwealth Shared
So
Scholarship. It's
everything is on
showing,
track then.
and people actually commenting as well too.
So everything is on track, right?
Yeah.
I tried now and everything is working. I just watched from YouTube. It's
Perfect.
actually going
Great. All right. Thank you so much. All right, Faith, sorry, just start all over again with, the ginger, the excitement, and forget like anything happened just now. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Faith?
Yeah.
Please go ahead. Start from scratch, from beginning.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Faith Peter, and I am your moderator for tonight. I am welcoming you to the Scholarship Bootcamp 2025, and today we're having our third webinar on everything you need to know about the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. I'm going to quickly go into introducing our speakers for tonight, but I'm expecting and anticipating seeing your emojis, your reactions as we show our excitement for tonight. Thank you, Favor. Thank you, Samson. So our first speaker for tonight is Grace Okorafor. Grace Okorafor is a recipient of the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, one of the UK government's most prestigious awards that supports individuals with exceptional academic and leadership potentials. Through this scholarship, she pursued postgraduate studies at University of Warwick, where she deepened expertise as a development practitioner. She also engaged with research and projects focused on addressing inequality, with a particular emphasis on gender-focused development challenges. Building on this experience, Grace has directed a professional focus towards tackling period poverty, which she defines as a health, education, social justice, and gender equality issue. She advocates for greater access to menstrual education, affordable products, and safe sanitation facilities, while also championing policies that empower women and girls to overcome barriers tied to menstrual health. Through the platform provided by a Commonwealth Scholarship and subsequent advocacy, Grace continues to inspire and mentor aspiring scholars while contributing to meaningful development solutions across communities. While I go to the next speaker, kindly leave your emojis showing your excitement for Grace. Our next speaker is going to be 𝐒𝐿𝐷𝐾𝐄𝐂𝐈𝐀𝐋. He holds a bachelor's degree from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Nigeria, and was awarded the highest competitive Commonwealth Shared Scholarship in 2021 to study advanced material science and engineering at Imperial College London, securing the only available spot for that year. Wow. During his master's program, he received both the Old Centralion's Trust Conference Travel Awards in February 2022 and the Imperial College Conference Travel Award in March 2022 to California. He is currently pursuing a PhD in materials engineering at Imperial College London. His professional experience spans roles such as Royce Imperial and Venture Scientist with Conception X. He has earned himself multiple recognitions, including the Education USA Opportunity Funds Program in 2020, the University of Cincinnati Graduate Incentive Award in 2021, recognition as a top 100 essayist at the Institute of Materials, Minerals and Mining, IOM3, Knowledge Exchange Grants 2024. Guys, when I read some of the bios of our speakers, I am truly amazed at the persons that we have given us so much knowledge and resources. If you're not tired and if you're still as excited as you were when we started, kindly jam those ends, show your emojis as we invite our first speaker. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Good
And
evening.
good evening from where I am, and good day from wherever you are. I know that there are a lot of scholars from all over the world, but from where I am, it's good evening. I say it's a rare opportunity to be here to speak to you, all of you. And I want to say a very, very special thank you to the organizers of this project. It's quite an impactful one because it's a way of giving back. So just so we don't waste so much time, today I'll just be speaking about everything you need to know about the Commonwealth Scholarship, and we'll talk about personal branding. My name is Grace Okorafor, and I am a Commonwealth alumni. So I got the Commonwealth Scholarship in 2022, and is one of the most amazing opportunities I've had in my life. So I'll just say a short story about my Commonwealth experience. For me, my Commonwealth experience was a beautiful one, but it wasn't rosy at first. I started applying from 2019. I had a lot of rejections, a whole lot of rejection that it affected me, affected my personality, affected my self-esteem. It wasn't easy. But one of the things that kept me going was I told myself that I was going to put out the application every year so far as there's an opportunity for that. So what I did was every year I put out the application, even if I was getting a rejection. And in 2022, I got it. And trust me, it was worth the wait. The whole funding, the experience, the new opportunities was worth the waste. So I'm just going to say that if you're starting your scholarship journey or you're already there, just know that whatever the season is now, the opportunity is worth the wait. I know that it's not easy, and I just want you to have the mindset that not everybody gets it at the first go. Some people have to try 2, 3 times, 4, 5 times before they get it. So even if you are applying and then you can be in the community and you see people start getting it, don't give up. Don't feel like, oh, I'm not getting it. It's not for me. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. The people are going to spend money on you, and for some reason they want to have value for their money. Maybe when you get a rejection, don't see it as it is not for me or I'm not good enough. For every rejection you get, try to find out why you were rejected and work on it. What I tell scholars is they don't hate you, they don't know you, and they're not doing it to put you down. If there's something they are looking for, because they are going to spend a lot of money. And if you can look for that thing and give it to them, you will get it. So I'm just saying that in all of this process, just in case you're starting, you want to start, or you're already in the process, whatever happens, just bear in mind that it's not about me. It's not like I have a problem. They just want to see me do well. And if I can do well, I'm going to get it. I think with that is a good mindset to start the whole process. With that, even if you have rejection, when you have rejection, you're not looking at the fact that you've been rejected. What you're trying to find out is why you were rejected and do better. And your wait, it will be worth it. So I'm going to be wishing you good luck at the first start. That's like the short story I have to tell. So we'll move on to the agenda. So part of the things I will say, I'll talk about the scholarship overview. We'll go on to the eligibility and requirements.
Very sorry, is your screen sharing? Do you mind sharing your screen?
Oh, bear with me, please.
All right, thank you.
Just hold on.
Okay.
Oh, God. Hold on, let me just check. Wait me, please. Oh, wait me, please. I'm coming.
No worries at all.
I forgot to share my screen. I think so.
No worries, it's fine.
I'm trying to go back so I can get to the Zoom.
Okay.
I'm there now. So is it sharing now?
It's loading. Perfect. So you could just click
The animation. Okay.
yes. Thank you.
So sorry for the bridge. I was trying to get my screen up. So we're going to move to the agenda. I'll first of all start with the scholarship overview, where I'll talk about the scholarship in general, the different types of Commonwealth scholarship. Then we'll move to eligibility. Eligibility for what qualifies you for the scholarship, the requirements. We'll also move to the application process. We'll move to leadership and volunteering. Then we'll get to personal branding. About the Commonwealth Scholarship. The Commonwealth Scholarship is funded by the UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office. So you can look that up later. So they're like a body that fund really, really high achieving leaders from the Commonwealth countries. So that includes Nigeria, Ghana, and so many other Commonwealth countries. You can look at the Commonwealth country just in case you are here and you're not sure if your country is part of the Commonwealth countries or if your country is eligible. You can take time out after this webinar to look at the Commonwealth countries and check the list and to see if your country is part of the Commonwealth country, so you know if you're eligible or not. And what's the aim of the Commonwealth Scholarship? Is to support students from the developing Commonwealth countries, just like I said before. So the aim is to support bright students that may not be able to afford it or that have dreams of studying abroad, just to be able to give back to their communities, back to their countries. And what's the focus of Commonwealth? Is to contribute to sustainable development. So what I tell people is the Commonwealth is more about the SDGs. So if you can look at the SDG that you're passionate about, you will definitely be able to secure the Commonwealth, because everything the Commonwealth is trying to do is to address the SDG goals. And that's why when you are applying, you see where they will ask you your first 3 SDG goals, the ones that you are really, really interested in. So you might want to look at the SDG goals when you have time, check it, see the ones that you feel like, oh, you like, and you can start from there. But we'll talk about that as the webinar goes on. Eligibility and requirements. First of all, like I said before, you must be a citizen of an eligible Commonwealth country. So you have to look at it and be sure. Then the second one is hold a first degree or at least second class upper. But I'm going to talk about that. Even if you have a 2-2, you can still apply for a Commonwealth. But if you have a 2-2, you need to have a lot of development impacts to be able to talk about why you meet the Commonwealth, why you deserve to have the scholarship. So you might not have a first class, you might not have a 2-1, but if you have a 2-2, and then you have good community impact, good community development experience, leverage on it, you can get the scholarship with that. You have frontline experience, not forged experience. You have frontline experience that you can back with evidence, that you can talk about very well. You are still eligible for it. I know some people that have gotten it with a 2-2. It's not that easy. That's why I said you have to have a lot of development impact experience. So when you are applying, you're not coming from the academic background, you're coming from your development impact background. So that would really, really help you. Then you have to demonstrate financial needs. The Commonwealth Scholarship is not for people that can afford it. It's for people that have the potential to do something for their country, but are not able to afford scholarship abroad to get the skills they need to do what they need to do in their country. So if you have that potential, but you're not able to afford it, the Commonwealth is a place where you can state your fact and explain yourself and give it a shot. Another requirement, you have to apply for an eligible master's program at a UK university. So for this, I'm going to say, when you want to start applying for Commonwealth Masters, and you know that it's Commonwealth you're applying for, it's good to read the university and ensure that this university has a partnership with Commonwealth. Because sometimes you can be applying to a university, a random UK university, and that university is not partnering with Commonwealth. You might have an issue, especially with the Commonwealth Shared. Because for Commonwealth Shared, there's a partnership between your school and Commonwealth. So if you have an admission in a school that is not partnering with Commonwealth, even if you apply for the Commonwealth scholarship separately, you might need the school to nominate you. For Shared, it is the school that will pick you before Commonwealth will now say, yes, we can fund you. So if you now apply for the scholarship separately, then the school you have admission in doesn't have a partnership with Commonwealth, you most likely won't get it. So when you want to start applying for schools, even with the masters, sometimes that there's still that partnership, even with Commonwealth Masters. I know for Commonwealth Masters, it is Commonwealth that funds all the bills. For Commonwealth Shared, it is both Commonwealth and the school that funds your bills. So you really want to understand whatever school you are applying, if Commonwealth is your funding, is where you want to rely on funding for, then it is really useful that you check the school and ensure that the school has partnership with Commonwealth, so that you don't just apply and you have admission, but then when it's time for scholarship, there's no partnership and then you have to lose it. So you really want to check that. Then I will move to the application process. I don't know what it is now, but usually Commonwealth Scholarship starts from October to December. And I would usually tell scholars, if you want to apply for Commonwealth Scholarship this year, by the year before you started preparing, you don't need to wait till October 2025. For example, if you want to apply for Commonwealth in 2026, it is as advisable that you start your preparing for your applications from 2025. So it's opening 2026, yes, we know, but you want to start early. You want to start early with your essay writing. You want to start early with writing, because it doesn't come, the ideas doesn't come at once. It takes time. You can just be doing your volunteering or reading the news or just be doing daily activity and you'll be having ideas. So if you wait till October to December, you might not have enough time to put your ideas together and your documents together. So it's usually early, you start early. It's usually good that you start early. So if it's from October, it's advisable that you start the year before to prepare your documents, to meet your references, and start building that relationship with them. Not just telling them that, oh, I want to apply for the Commonwealth Scholarship, and you leave them there. No, build that relationship, checking on them once in a while and say, oh, I've not started the application, oh, but I'm applying. So you need to have that in place before the time it starts. So not when the Commonwealth starts and you're now putting all your documents together, you might not meet up or you might not have the right mindset or the right environment to have what it takes to get the scholarship. So it's usually good that you prepare early. Prepare your documents from beginning. Go to your school, get your transcript ready. Like I said, look for your academic references, have that relationship with them, let them know that you want to, this is what you're trying to do, and seek their advice and build that relationship with them. Have your passport ready. Have your passport ready. So not when you have the Commonwealth Scholarship, then you now know you don't have a passport. Have your passport ready. A passport is what you use to travel abroad. So if you're going to make that kind of movement, you should have your passport ready. So not when you have the Commonwealth Scholarship, then you are now moving up and down. No, have all your documents ready. Get your transcript ready. Get your passport ready. Get your essays. Be putting your essays together bit by bit, so you're not under pressure. From October to December might look like a long time, but for a scholarship that would require a lot of brilliant ideas, October to December is a short time. Believe me, it is a short time, because the scholarship requires you to put in brilliant ideas. And remember, you are going to be competing with thousands and thousands of people. So October to December there are still people that can put up something from October to December and still win it. That's fine. But to be on a safer side, it would be good that you start early to plan. Your proof of citizenship, which is your passport most of the times, and everything that you need. And then to submit, you have to submit for shared. You have to, most of the schools, you do a separate application to the school and then answer their own, fulfill the school requirement and also fulfill Commonwealth requirement. So you need to check at the CSC portal to know what schools are partnering this year. Because every year, Commonwealth have the schools that they work with. So before you start your application, you might want to check what are the schools that are working with partner Commonwealth this year. Do they have the course that I want to study? What courses are they putting out? And how do I align them with my own interests? That's what you might want to do, because you need, for shared, you need the school to approve you before Commonwealth to sponsor you. For masters, it's quite different. But I advise that even if you're applying for a Commonwealth Master's Scholarship, please check that the school has some partnership with Commonwealth, because it helps sometimes. Because there might be some remaining bills that Commonwealth might not be able to cover or will not cover. Your school can cover it for you. Or it's just good that you look for schools that have that partnership. But for shared, it is good that once the application comes out, check the schools that are working with Commonwealth that year and the cost they are offering. Because every school have a cost they want to fund. So, for example, if the school is funding this year engineering, medicine, nursing, and med lab, you want to check for example, you want to check that your courses align with those developments, those courses and the CSC scheme that year. So you're not applying for something else in the school and it's not under what they are sponsoring. They have courses that they sponsor. If your research or your funding, your idea is not in line with it, you probably will not get it. So you need to do that research. Check very well. Is this course I want to do, what development scheme is under? Commonwealth has 6 development schemes. You want to check it. Which one is the school funding? How does my course align to it? You need to check all that before you start your application. Then you look for the course. Then you apply for the course. Align your ideas in line with that course. So for the core application components, first of all, Commonwealth is about development impact. They want to see what you can do, because the idea of the funding is to train bright minds to go back to their country to do something in their country. So it's about development. So you want to really think, what development impact can I offer to my society? So one of the mistakes that prospective scholars make is they think because they say your country, when they write their essays, they want to write, I want to solve this thing in my country. Whatever country you are from, you cannot solve the problem of that country. So when you're writing your essay, I know that you want to be ambitious. You want to tell them you cannot, because these people that are going to read your essay, they already know what is achievable and what is not achievable. So when you are building a development plan or you're putting your ideas together, please and please come down to your society, come down to communities, come down to local governments. Because when you go and say, I want to solve the problem of water in Nigeria, you cannot. Even the president of Nigeria has not been able, for example, to solve that problem. How can you, one person, come out and write that you want to solve, for example, the problem of water in Nigeria? That is unrealistic, very, very unrealistic, and you're not going to get it. So you would want to come down. There's a problem, there's a general global problem, water global problem, and then you want to come down to water problem in local governments. Then you bring it down to water problem in one community, the community you're living in. And then you can think of how you want to address water problem in that community. So they know, oh, water problem is a general global problem, but this person has decided to want to start from their community to solve the problem. So it's achievable. But if you say, I want to solve water problem in Nigeria, obviously you're not a serious person, because even your president has not solved that problem. How come? Do you have the means? How do you want to do it? So they will be thinking about all those things, and they will probably put your application aside because you've not thought about it. So you have to, for development plan, whatever plan you have in mind, try to narrow it down, bring it down to communities. They're not expecting you to solve big problems. That's a mistake prospective scholars make. They want to solve big problems. They want to solve a problem of a whole country, and that's really unrealistic. I'll move down to leadership and volunteering. So Commonwealth is trying to fund leaders. You need to show that you have led sometime in your life. And for leadership, a lot of people might look at it and say, I've not led before in a big setting, so I'm not eligible. No, that's not how it works. It might have been that you were a class prefect before in your secondary school. For Commonwealth and for writing, it is how you write it. It's not what it is most of the time. It's how you write. It's how you tell your story. So it might have been at some point in your life, you have been a class prefect in secondary school, and you have been able to lead a class in a way, for example, where maybe you were your class was too noisy, and then you were able to, as a class prefect, bring your classmates together to become a quiet class, where teachers now realize that, oh, this class used to be a very, for example, I'm giving an example here, this class used to be a very, very noisy class, but now since this person started leading this class is now quiet. That's a leadership experience. It is how you write it, and it's how you tell the story. So when they say leadership experience, I know somebody will be thinking, I've not led a crowd before. I've not done this before. I've not led 100 people before. No. Look at yourself. At some point in your life, you've led people. You've talked up, you've brought an idea. It could be in church. Don't undermine it. It could be in church. It could be in a small setting, in an unrecognized setting. Or how do you talk about it that shows that you are able to provide solution to a problem? In that small leadership settings, did you solve a problem? Yes, the problem in the class was noise, but you are able to deal with it, and you solved that problem. That's it. That's it. It was a noise problem and you solved it. So if you think about, have I been able in a small setting to solve a problem, to bring solution? If you think about that, then you can tell your story well. Then for volunteering, for Commonwealth, if you have volunteering experience, is really good. For me, I didn't make a first class. I made a 2-1, but I didn't make a first class. So when I wanted to apply for Commonwealth, I had this cold feet of the fact that it was only people with first class that was going to get it. And it bothered me a lot. I remember when I sent somebody my CV to look at when I wanted to start, and the person said, oh, you didn't make a first class, how are you going to compete and all that? Your CV is not even worth it and all that. It broke me. It made me feel bad. But then I did not give up. What I did, I'm not saying you should do it, but at some point, for like 2 years, I didn't work. I was volunteering. What you mean somebody wakes up in the morning and what they do is to go and give back to communities? I love volunteering. I like community development normally. But then I also wanted to get a Commonwealth scholarship. So I had a lot of volunteering experience, And I'm a strong believer of, when you want to do something with purpose. Yes, I was giving back because I loved it. I really wanted to give back to people. But also, I was trying to put myself together for an application I was looking forward to. How did I do it? For every organization I was volunteering for, I had a Google Drive for the pictures I was taking. I'm not saying now that when you go out to volunteer, you would leave the purpose of what you are doing and start taking pictures, but you can do it purposefully. So I had pictures of all the works I was doing. I put them in a Google Drive. So for every activity that I have done, I had a Google Drive for it. So when I was writing my essay, I talk about the works that I have done, and I had a link for it. So I put it on my essay. So if you are reading, whoever was reading my essay could click on the link and see the picture of the things I had done. And I feel like that was what helped me, because I was not just talking about the things I had done. I had concrete evidence. So volunteering is important because they want to see that you are giving back. So it's easier to fund somebody that have already started the work already than somebody that have not started it at all, because they know that, oh, this person already have started the work and already have that platform. We would rather fund somebody that already has the platform than somebody that have not done anything before. So you want to look at volunteering, and if you want to be strategic with your volunteering, I would advise that you volunteer in organizations that are in line with the SDG goals that you want to apply for. For example, if you are going to apply for a course that has to do with climate change, you want to look at NGOs that focus on climate change. That would really help you. So you would be volunteering with a purpose. And you also have to have post-study plans. So when you finish the Commonwealth, what do you want to do? What are the things that you want to come back and do? I will say, if you already have a platform, tell them you want to continue from the things that you're already doing. For example, I already had safe period where I was sharing pad and doing menstrual education and teaching girls how to make a reusable pad. I did not now say I want to start a new thing. I said, when I come back, I want to continue from what I was doing before, make it bigger with the skills and knowledge I have gotten. So it now makes sense that, oh, she has been doing this before and she wants to continue what she is doing. So if you already, these are for people that are already in the volunteering or community development space. So if you're already doing something already, there's no need for you to now be thinking of what one new thing to do. Continue from what you're already doing. Is a more strategic way, because they will know that you're already doing something. So you're coming to the UK to upskill yourself, to come and do better. So what are your post-study plans? You want to think about it. What are the things you are doing now? And how do you want to link the things you are doing now to continue? So it's not like you're doing something different and then you are now proposing something different. You might lack ideas to continue. But if you're doing something already, it just makes, that's like my own take. It just makes sense to do something that you're continuing and not starting all over again. And I would say you can add to give back during your scholarship. I feel like in life, if you know how to give as much as you take, it makes more sense. So even if they are going to give you a funding, you can add, what do I want to do for them while I'm in school? Do I want to volunteer for the university I'll be studying? You can put that. It gives you an edge. Do I want to volunteer? Are there other things in the university that I want to work and do for the university? Do you want to give back? What you want to check the school volunteering platform, whatever school you've picked, check, go to their website, explore it. They might have a volunteering platform. Check some of the volunteering activities that they do that you feel like you can do to give back. That gives you an edge, because they understand that, oh, this person understands community development impact, to the point that even while they are studying, they still want to add it as part of it. So it gives you an edge. So it's not like you're coming to take like an Oliver Twist. You're also thinking of how to give back. Then I will say, use evidence. Like I said before, I had evidence of link. I don't know how you want to do it, but you can think of a very brilliant way to use evidence. Use evidence. You need to have concrete evidence of the things that you want to do and how you want to do it. So you're not just saying, this is what I want to do, this is what I don't want to do. You are giving evidence. Have evidence, have factual evidence. Don't just, and I know that now is the time for ChatGPT, and everybody is thinking that, oh, I will just go to ChatGPT and I will just ask ChatGPT to give me this. Mind you, ChatGPT would give you a vague response, and ChatGPT response is not in-depth. So you want to think about it. Whatever response that ChatGPT will give to you, it is not in-depth. It might not be, so if they look at it, they'll just see a vague response. So try as much as you can to put in evidence in a way that when they look at it, they know that this person have done the work or this person is doing the work. So it's not like you're just taking, because I know that that's what a lot of scholars will be doing now. They'll just go to ChatGPT and say, okay, give me development plan for this. No, you have something, your idea is unique. Think about it, do a research. ChatGPT is good, AI is good, and it can give you like a guideline of what to do, but don't rely on it for something as crucial as Commonwealth Scholarship, because they're going to be spending nearly £100,000 on you. And don't you think that they would want somebody that knows what they are doing? So you want to think about it while you're doing it, because ChatGPT would not give you as much in-depth explanation of your development plan than the one that you brought up yourself. So you want to think about it. I just wanted to add that. So what's the Commonwealth's mission? Is to contribute to the development of their home country. We've talked about that before. So the Commonwealth Scholarship is not just about academic excellence, it's about development impact. So you're expected to show how your studies will help you tackle real life problem back home. I've said that before. This is just like an overview back home. And ensure that it aligns with SDG. So Commonwealth and SDG works hand in hand. So it will be good that when you are applying for Commonwealth, please understand the SDG, because sometimes prospective scholars don't understand the SDG, so they just start their application and start writing. Understand the SDG and understand the SDG that works with what you want to do and align it together. That would really, really, really help your application. So first of all, what I tell scholars when they meet me, I tell them, please go and look at the SDG, understand the SDG, then think about the SDG that aligns with the idea in your head. Then you start from there, because that's what will give you a good development impact back home.
Grace, sorry, we have 10 minutes left. But
Okay.
or you can go ahead.
Okay. I'll just be fast because of time. Bear me, please. Hold on.
You can continue with the Commonwealth shared, but yeah, just the question of time. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm coming. Bear with me, please. Let me just share my screen again.
No problem. Yeah, thank you.
Done all this. So I'm going to move to the tips for a strong scholarship application. Like I said, avoid cliches and don't avoid ChatGPT to help you align your ideas, but please don't rely on ChatGPT for something as crucial as a Commonwealth scholarship. Like I said, use clear evidence and let your outcome be measurable. So the part for measurable outcome, it must not be something serious. It can even be something as, when I come back and when I do this work, before there was no water tap. For example, one of the example I used was, they are not really good running water in schools. So what I was going to come and do is partner with organizations to fix those taps. So I didn't talk about something big, because that's measurable and that's achievable. So you want to think about an outcome that is measurable and achievable. So you're not just writing something vague and big. I'd also say show passion and commitment to development. Whatever you are doing, let them see that this person is actually passionate about development, not just somebody that wants to just come and get the scholarship. But it will show in your application though. So if you're passionate about the development, when you write, when they are reading it, these people are experts, it will show in your writing. So, and I also say proofread carefully. That's why I said start early. So if you start early, it gives you time to proofread. Then I'll move to the next session quickly, building your personal brand. So in terms of scholarship, I would advise that you tell your story in a way that aligns with your goal and how it drives you. Just like I said, you know what you want for yourself. Your ideas are really unique. You know what you want for yourself. You know where the goal is taking you to, just write it. It is you. You're unique. Your ideas are unique. You don't need anybody to tell you, or you don't need to copy from anybody. But sometimes part of the things that delay people from getting the scholarship is you see somebody's essay that have written it before, and what you do, you take it and start adjusting it. They know. Be unique. You know what drives you. You know your goal. Try as much as you can to put in your own unique self. Then align your experience, just like I said, align your experiences with the Commonwealth Scholarship goals. You already have experience. You're working somewhere. It might not be in volunteering capacity. It might be in a private company. You have experience. Think about them. Take time, think about them, and align it. Then reflect on your value of leadership. What do you think about leadership? What does service mean to you? In terms of service, what does volunteering means to you? What does giving back mean to you? The impact. Think about it and put it together. And I would also say that personal branding is not about the scholarship. It's about you and your career moving forward. So you want to tell your story in a way where even after Commonwealth Scholarship, you still have a story to tell. That's after the Commonwealth Scholarship, they can still see a trace of the things that you love to do. Like for me, if you see me and you know me, you will know that I like community development and I like development, because I talk about it even on the media. If you check my page, check my Instagram, you will see that, oh, when you look at my Instagram, you just automatically know the things I'm interested in. So those things are important. So let people see what you love through your work and through the things you do and how you talk about them. This is aside from the scholarship. Like volunteering and community impacts. Choose a cause that matters to you. Like I said before, if you're going to a climate change career, it will be advisable for you to volunteer with organizations that are into climate change. That will really help you. You can connect to other local initiatives, but connect with a purpose. Connect with a purpose. Reach out to people, highlight measurable outcomes, connect with a purpose, volunteer with a purpose. Then we'll talk about the STAR approach. There's a situation at hand, for example, which is water. People are, the country, the SDGs, the UN, they're looking at how to solve that. What are the things that you want to do? What are the actions you want to take? And what are the results you aim to achieve? So there's a problem and the world is trying to solve the problem. What are the actions that you want to take as a prosthetic scholar? And what are the results you aim to make? So you need to think about that. What is the problem I want to solve? How is the world trying to address it? What have people done so far? And what do I want to do? What are the actions I need to take? And what are the results I'm expecting? Final tips, like I said, start early. Seek feedback from mentors. Like you could send me a message on LinkedIn. If I see it, I'll read and I'll respond to you. Be authentic. There's ChatGPT, but please be authentic. Believe in your own story. Your story matters. You have all it takes to win the scholarship. Thank you for listening.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. I honestly learned a lot by just being in the background. Sorry, do you mind still sharing your screen? And yeah, thank you. And I was just saying like, wow, because I was really so amazed at the level of intentionality that you put into your volunteering. You know, people just want to volunteer, they volunteer for anything and everything, but I really literally saw the difference in your story. You talked about how like for 2 good years, that's a lot of sacrifice, you know, to say that you're going to use the next 2 years of your life to go volunteer and see how it actually turned out to be a lifelong area and pathway for you. And of course, it opened up the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. And I'm even amazed at what you're doing right now. You're still in the community development space, which is truly incredible. So a very big thank you to you. Can we just drop a thank you on the chat, on Zoom, on YouTube? Thanking our speaker. I was really so impacted and I was really so, I was like, yeah, I can do this too. Yeah, so really celebrate the purpose in which you actually put into your volunteering activities. So thank you. So yeah, please let the thank yous keep on dropping before we bring up our second speaker. Yeah, so Chudibem is saying, thank you so much, Grace. I have really learned a lot from your session. I love your public speaking skills. I admire that. So thank you. Everyone, please continue dropping your thank yous. And yeah, with that said, I would love to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Chooks, to kindly introduce himself, and afterwards we're going to go into straight to the Q&A session. So what Mr. Chooks is introducing himself, please go ahead to drop your questions on the chat. Yeah, because we're going straight into the Q&A session. And yeah, over to you, Chooks.
Hi everyone. I'm 𝐒𝐿𝐥𝐄𝐂𝐈𝐀𝐀, and I'm currently a PhD student at Imperial College. I'm pursuing a PhD in hydrogen sensors. So in 2021, I won the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship to study advanced material science and engineering at Imperial College. And basically, for myself, I think the whole scholarship thing has been like the earlier preparation I had to do, because at the initial stage, I didn't want to do like an undergrad in Nigeria. So I think after my high school, I was really like into looking at for opportunities to go abroad to do an undergrad. So I was applying for different scholarship. I think the MasterCard Foundation, I remember applying for that twice, and I also got like rejections. And eventually I had to go do my undergrad in FUTA, studying metallurgical and materials engineering. So that mindset of, okay, I didn't get an undergrad, I didn't get a scholarship to do an undergrad abroad. So my whole undergrad in Nigeria was basically trying to build a track record that will help me secure a scholarship, a master scholarship abroad. So what really helped me during my time was really like looking beyond my academic environment. I always want to look at what other people are doing globally. I Although I'm actually like looking at trying to compete domestically, but my mindset was also like globally, how can I compete? Because for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, you're actually competing with people from different countries. So when your profile will be compared, you're not just going to compare it with people in your class, or maybe, oh, you are a first class holder in FUTA, but then you actually want to know what are other things people beyond your university are doing. So because of this reality, I was pretty much involved in trying to look for international opportunities. I was writing essay competitions globally. I wrote a lot of essays during my undergrad, various essay competitions in Nigeria, and I actually like got to a few finalists and won a few as well. I also like tried my hands on various undergraduate scholarship, and in terms of leadership, I try to lead. Just like Grace said, I think Grace has pretty much said most of the things. Once you have this mindset that you need to build a track record, then you keep looking at things like, okay, your leadership, your volunteering, your academic excellence. Once you like try to make sure that all of these places you feel in like the host, to make sure that none of these places are lacking. For me, I think the scholarship thing is more like you having an all-round profile. If you are too academically gifted and you don't care about what is happening in your community, or you never volunteered for one day, I don't think the scholarship committee will really see you as that person who really wants to give back. So I also joined blogging club FUTA back then. While I was in uni, I tried to do a few projects, because I could remember one of the projects I organized back then was trying to like host an essay writing kind of master class with a few of my friends then who were really like good essay writers in Nigeria. So all of these things are what counts for you, because when these scholarship committees are looking at trying to make a decision, they don't really know you, right? So what they actually base most of their decision making process on is what they find about you when they look online. So like if you're applying for a scholarship and I'm in the decision making committee, I pretty much want to like go online and see like your name. When I type in your name on Google, what comes out of it. So these are like the things I try to make sure I do. And one thing that also helped me was there is this lady called Grace 𝐒𝐿𝐥𝐄𝐈𝐀𝐀. Is the founder of Opportunity Desk. So Grace gifted me one of her book. The book was called Go Global with Opportunity. So she gifted me that book during a Facebook giveaway. So I actually like focused on that book to read it very well while applying for my scholarship. And the book actually talked a lot about aligning your social media very well with the applications you are applying for. Imagine you're saying you want to apply for, you're trying to solve a problem of global health or something, and then someone comes to your LinkedIn on Instagram, and there is no single post about that on your Instagram or LinkedIn. They are never going to take you serious. So, in a nutshell, let me just summarize the things that helped me. I feel like they are really like paramount in securing the Mass Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. I think, like I mentioned before, starting early, trying to like get your hands on global competition, volunteering, leadership, and stuff. And also, if you can actually like write a lot to blogs, because one thing about writing is once your writing is published, whether it's academic paper or you are writing for a blog, once somebody types your name, these are the things that Google is going to bring out, and they can actually see, okay, this person is already making an impact, trying to like share their ideas with the world and their society as well. And also, like I mentioned about aligning your social media with the opportunities you're applying for. For myself, I was really like into trying to make an impact around semiconductor development in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. What the argument I was making in my Commonwealth essay competition was basically that during my undergrad in FUTA, that we didn't really have electronic materials classes, that it was too focused on metallurgy. But then, if Africa, because a whole lot in the whole of Africa, there is no single semiconductor manufacturing company. So I was really like, we really need to solve this problem. I try to link it with unemployment and then no poverty, like Grace mentioned, trying to link it with the SDG goals. So this problem, I try to say, okay, if I finish my studies, I'll probably have more ideas on this topic, and then I can come back home and try to see how we can incorporate these modules or courses into our university. So that was like a good selling point for me. And again, like Grace mentioned, you have to reach out to people. You have nothing to lose. During my time, I reach out to a lot of people. Some people won't reply, but that's also okay, because even now I realize that even for myself, I find myself too busy to reply anybody. Like, it takes a lot of time because people have a lot of things they are doing. But then definitely just shoot your shot. Ask people to review your scholarship essays on LinkedIn. Just reach out to people who are in that field and who you feel like you are looking up to as role model. And like Grace mentioned again, having good relationship with your professors and lecturers. These are the people that will write your recommendation letter. So don't just pop out of the blue one morning and write them, oh, can you write me a recommendation letter? Keeping in touch once in a while is something that is very vital. So I try to, after my undergrad, when I left FUTA, I try to like keep up with my professors. Even every month, I try to send them happy new month messages. So when I wanted to ask for the recommendation letter, it was much more easier because I kept that relationship loop open. And the last important thing I want to mention is about like application fee waiver. This was really my breakthrough point in Imperial, because when I wanted to apply for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship at Imperial, I saw that the application fee was around £80 then. But then I didn't really have that money. I was just finishing up NYSC. And you know, the exchange rate for us in Nigeria doesn't really help. So one thing I tried to do was to email someone at Imperial then asking for application fee waiver. So the person directed me to the application fee waiver form in the university and asked me a few questions about sending my bank account and also proving that I just finished my youth service. So them giving me that fee waiver was the very like I think that was a turning point, because with that fee waiver I was able to apply there, and then they gave me the admission. Then I was able to like link it to Commonwealth. Just like Grace mentioned, you have to be sure that the school is partnering with Commonwealth for that particular course. So the school has to give you an admission first before Commonwealth can even consider you. If the school doesn't give you an admission, that means it's not going to work. So that fee waiver was very, very much important. So I think I will encourage you guys to ask for fee waiver, not just for UK universities, pretty much every universities that are applying to in the US as well. This was something I was actually taking advantage of. And I think 1 minute past my time. And yeah, that will be it from myself. I think any other question you want to ask, I will just be here with Grace and yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I really love how our speakers are giving, Grace to get one really unique angle about volunteering, and Chooks is talking about application fee waivers, because I've actually gotten that question a lot, and because Commonwealth Shared is a scholarship that is between the school and between the scholarship itself. So yeah, definitely application fees are things that would really help to make the application easier, because even as you're looking for a scholarship, you can't be spending all your money
Yeah, definitely.
application on application fees. So yeah, please. So what really helps, like Trix has said, is checking those websites for the schools that you're seeking to apply for ahead of time. Don't wait till like 2 days to the deadline and you're looking for application fee waiver. It's not going to happen. So please, if you're seeing a particular school and you are seeing that they have a particular application fee waiver is expensive, or you can convert it to your country's currency, apply to the school. What you can even do is you can even send them an email asking them a question. So I know some of us were like, how can I send a school an email? These are foreign schools, they respond to emails. So if you're not even sure who to reach out to, as long as you see an email on their website, send that email to them. And in the coming days or weeks, they will surely respond to you and show you how you can apply for that application fee. So please take note of that so you don't spend all your savings on application fees. All right, so I think we'll go straight into the Q&A session. I have really been so impacted. Like, this is so much knowledge and this is so much insight that we're getting. And I'm sure everyone here can also attest to that as well. Okay, so we have a question from Mohammed. So Mohammed is asking, for this scholarship, please, is there a designated year one must stay at one's country, e.g., 2 years after graduation? Secondly, can I put my evidences in a drive, Google Drive, and put it in a link in the CV? Grace, I think this question is directed to you because you talked about evidence. Sorry, you're mute.
The scholarship is for 1 year. So after the 1 year, you're expected to go back to your country, because the idea is for you to get the opportunities and the skill that you need, then take it back to your country. So it's for 1 year after your studies. Then that's why they say they're going to book your coming into the country flight and then your return flight. So the idea is when you finish the scholarship, you come back to your country and then do the things that they want you to do. Then for the link and yes, for me, what I did for Google Drive. So I didn't just put everything on a Google Drive. What I did is I separated my Google Drive. So it's just about purpose. So for the different things I was doing, if I say, okay, I did a back to school project here. So I had a Google link for back to school projects and I put it there. If I said, okay, I did something on period poverty, I had a Google link for that. So whatever work that I said I've done, mind you, I've done different volunteering works, and each different one I was putting the different skills that they were asking for. In the part where they needed development impact, in the part where they needed the different things they needed, as I was aligning my experience with it, I had a name for it. So it will not be advisable if you just put all your experience into one link and just throw it there. They might not know where you're talking about, what you're talking about. So if just for example, you've done volunteering in energy, you've done volunteering in say breast cancer, and you've done all that, and you put it together, they might not be picking it out. You're the one to do the job for them. Pick them out, put them in a link. So for everything you're saying, if you said you've done breast cancer, for example, you have a link for breast cancer. Then when you talk about the breast cancer, you put the link there. Another one, when you say, okay, I've done climate this, you have a link for that, then you put it. So for everything you're doing, you're separated. So there's a structure, because the person doesn't have time to start picking out all the things you have done. You're the one to do that work. So they know where you are doing. So if you say they click it, they're saying, oh, this is the one for breast cancer, this is the one for back to school project. So yes, you can use a Google Drive, but align it, organize it. Take your time to organize it. So when they're looking at it, it makes sense to them.
Perfect. Thank you very much. All right, the next question is from Dabrichi. Dabrichi is asking, how do you find the volunteer opportunities relating to your goals as an engineering graduate? Most of the volunteers we see online now are either tech related or they never get back to you.
So for that, it depends on what country you are in and how consistent you are. For me, when I wanted to start my volunteering, the first thing I did, I went on my status and I said on my WhatsApp status, and I said, I'm looking for where to volunteer. Oh, I want to start volunteering. I'm looking for where to volunteer. So somebody sent me a link of one volunteering activity that was happening. And from that link, I registered and I joined their outreach. So from there was now a community of other volunteers that have been doing volunteering. So when we talk about it, they say, oh, there's this climate one that I'm doing, or you want to join. So from there, I had different opportunities. So it just takes one, and then you build that community. So if you can look for one charity organization or one organization, it might not be an organization, any project on engineering that you can find. When you get there, you see other volunteers that must have had other, because volunteering is about passion, because you're not being paid. So you see other passionate volunteers and you can talk to them. When you start that conversation, you will see that, oh, they have other charity organizations that they volunteer for. And then inside, it might be for example, it might be a charity that works on food. But then inside that charity, they might have something about engineering that they are doing, not the food packaging you're doing. You can reach out to whoever owns the NGO and say, this is my skill, oh, can I volunteer with this skill? So if you're waiting for one NGO that has engineering, you might never find. But you can start from one charity. In that charity, you might see where you can apply your engineering skills. So when you're talking about it, you don't need to say it's, even if it's a food, but then it's a food charity, but then you applied your engineering skills there. That's what matters. So you can't be waiting for a charity that, because it's a non-governmental organization and they deal on funding. So you might not see where a charity that is ready to fund engineering projects, but then enter any organization first. See how you can put your skills there. Like I said, it's how you tell your story. Tell your story.
Okay.
While I am in this food project, I use my engineering skills to be able to tell the mechanic or the driver, this is what you can do or something. Do you understand? Just tell your story, because you can't be waiting for a funding or an organization that is funding that project. They're not being paid for it. They have to come together to use their money. So it's you that will align your skills in a way that you get what you want. And when you go there, speak to other people. So find one first. There are different, find one, even if it's an organization that is not doing what you are doing, find one and see how you can start aligning your skill inside there. Then you can start from there.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That was so specific. Choose, do you want to
Can
say
I
something?
add to that?
Yes,
The
please.
person saying like they are in engineering, and I kind of think if I was in their shoe, what I would really do is there are so many like engineering organizations in Nigeria. Like one is NSC, Nigerian Society of Engineers. They organize conferences every now and then. I'm sure if you join, because when I was in FUTA, I joined one of the sister organizations. So they organize conferences, and you can just tell the conference organizer that you want to be part of the volunteering team or something. That's a good way to like volunteer as well. And this is actually you're volunteering for an engineering body, which can also give you a recommendation sometime in the future if you need it. And also look globally. I remember during World Engineering Day, I think that was 5, 6 years ago. I joined an organization through a competition, and then the one guy that founded the organization, he always like is looking for volunteers, and that's how I also got to volunteer for them few hours in a month or so. So everything you need is pretty much out there. It's just for you to like do your own research and always try to email people, and yeah.
And I wanted to add that you can also volunteer remotely. It mustn't be where you are. So you can search for remote volunteering opportunities. Could be outside the country or anything, where you can give like 2 hours of your time in a day remotely. So you can start with that. So you can also volunteer remotely. You don't need to wait for a physical charity organization. You can start with searching for remote volunteering opportunity, and you can take it up from there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to direct this question by Rose to Chooks so that we could get to know your perspective about using evidence, because Grace has been talking about attaching evidence to like a Google Drive link, but we'd like to know your thoughts on this as well, or your own experience as well. So Rose is asking, during my NYC, I was opportune to be a quarter guard commander in camp. I was also given an acknowledgement letter. When writing my essay, can I attach the photo to my essay? Just asking about evidence. Is this, yeah.
I don't think the essay has anywhere. They only ask you to attach things like passport and so, but you actually can attach a link. For myself, what I was doing is, because for me, I had like published works and blogs. I have written on blogs, so I just copy the links of my blog publication and put there. If I write the paper's name and date, I'll just copy the link of the publication and put in that part of the essay where you can attach some links. But for you, if you talk about that stuff, I think in place of that publication, you can like Grace was doing, you can actually have that on a Google Drive and make sure it's that particular link that you're applying. Because imagine people, if you are adding the whole of your Google Drive, how are they going to find it? So just make sure that that specific one that you are talking about is what you have on that drive. If it's not on the public domain, that's probably what I'm going to do.
And I just wanted to say that if you're using the Google Drive, try and set it in a way where if they click the link, they're going to see it. Because sometimes Google Drive can be personal. Set it in a way where it's accessible to all users. And then you can put it in your essay. My links were inside my essay, not in that. And where I know where Chuks is talking about, the later part of the essay, there are parts to put links, but my links for me were inside my essay as I was writing. So I put a bracket and put the link inside. So they were not outside because they were quite too much and they were specific to what I was writing in the essay. So I put a bracket and I put the link. So they were actually inside the essay, inside the things I was writing. And then I want to be sure that that link is accessible to all users. Because sometimes Google link can be funny. It might only be accessible to you. And so when they click it, they will not be able to access it. So set it in a way where once they click it, they are able to access whatever you put inside. Or if they copy it and put on their Google, they are able to see what you're talking about. So just be careful because it's quite tricky with Google Drive.
Absolutely. I totally agree on that. So please take note of ensuring that the access is given to everybody to view whatever content is in your Google Drive link. Thank you. I'll get back to this question by 𝐸, but let me go to the question by Trix. Trix is asking, I have a question. If someone doesn't have publications, can they still apply?
Definitely. I think publication is just one aspect of it. If you don't have publication, like there are so many other ways to make up for it. Leadership, volunteering, at the end of the day, they are just gonna like do an all-round view of the application. So it's not a must to have a public. And then when I say publication, remember that your final year thesis can actually be a kind of work, although it's not online. For me, I even put my final year thesis and say submitted to the Federal University of Technology, Accra, something like that. Just they want to see that you like you are showing effort, that you are putting out something. Even some of the essays I wrote, I just like wrote the essay title and stuff, and the ones that doesn't have a link, I just wrote the name of the title of the paper, my name, and maybe if I have any co-author. So it's not a must that you have a complete publication that will be online. Just make an effort to put things there that you have written, or even if you have a Medium post that talked about stuff. Medium is another good way as well, and it's acceptable. It's like accessible to everyone. You can use that Medium post and then put the title and put a link of the Medium post there. That's also like your own publication.
Very true. Thank you. Next question is by Charity. I think this question is going to be addressed to you, Chuks, because you had talked about application fee waiver. Charity is asking about the application fee waiver. I don't really get it. Does it mean the applied school of choice will be the one paying the fees?
Yes, it's just like a way to waive your application fee for you. Because for most schools, I think even I don't have for Imperial, my experience with Imperial, I don't know about most of other schools. Before you can submit that application, you need to pay a fee. So if you don't pay the £80, you're not going to submit the application. And how is the school going to make a decision of giving you an admission or not? So what the application fee waiver basically does is, it's just like when you have a coupon code. So they will now give you, they will now give you a kind of a number, and then instead of you paying, you now put the number there, and then it just waives the fee for you. I think a lot of schools do that as well. In the US, especially if you join their open day program online or something, they will just send you a kind of code that you can apply with, and they will waive the application fee for you.
Yeah, just to add to that, how the fee will be paid. It's not something you should be worried about. What you should be worried about is putting out the application. Because I also got an application fee waiver. Because when I was applying, they asked me to pay, and I told them that the money I'm earning cannot be used for that, because I used it for just my basic needs, and I explained myself, and they gave me a code to apply. So my concern was not who will pay the money. My concern is, can you take away this fee price and let me continue with my application? So that's what you should be focusing on. Who pays the money should not be your problem. Think of better ways to convince them that you need this application and you need this admission, but you don't have the money. That's what you should be thinking about. What to tell them. Is it because you cannot afford it? Is it because you're working but what you have is just for your basic needs? Is it just find a story to tell them and let them give you the code? So who pays should not be your concern or your worry.
Very true. I think also on this application fee discussion, I won't tell aspiring scholars when they come to ask me that I applied for over 30 schools and I did not pay for one single application fee. Why? Because I had to check the website of each schools. I applied to 30 schools. I got admission to about 20 of them. I had to check the website of those schools like weeks or even months ahead of time when I knew I was going to apply for a scholarship through those schools. And then by doing that, you're giving a chance to yourself to, if you don't have their email, ask them a question directly on their email on how you can get an application fee waiver. And you're also giving yourself other options so that in case this school doesn't have an application fee waiver, you can say, okay, this one has an application fee waiver, I'll go for that. But when you wait like a week to the scholarship deadline and you're looking for an application fee waiver, like you're literally putting yourself at a spot where you would have to make that payment. And again, the reason you're looking for a scholarship is because of the financial constraints that you're actually facing. So if you spend all your savings on application fees, like it's going to weigh you down. Yeah, so if you're looking for application fee waivers, just like the scholars have said, please apply ahead of time and present a strong reason. Yeah, we talked about like the currency rates. You can talk about how the currency, for example, if you convert the number of money from, let's say, like £100 to like Naira, it's about 200 and something thousand. You can say, oh, this money is enough to feed me and my family for the next. Should I just present it in a way that shows that you need the waiver to actually go ahead with the application? And applying early is the best way to find out those waivers, make the application, and possibly get the application fees being waived for you. All right, thank you for that.
I wanted to add that if you get the application fee waiver, and just in case you don't get the scholarship, please defer the admission so that you don't go asking for another application fee again. It's just wise that you didn't get it that year, immediately defer the admission because you already have it already. So you're not going back again to start application fee waiver movement again. You did not get the scholarship this year. I hope that you get it, but in case where you don't get it, defer it immediately so you know that you have that sorted.
Good. Very good point. Thank you for that. Next question is by Patrick. I think they've answered this question. Yeah, Patrick, you've answered the question about going back to your country. Chudibem is asking, does Commonwealth run SOPs and other related essays through plagiarism checks? The answer is yes. There is no scholarship in this world that doesn't run through any essay through like plagiarism checks or AI checks. So that's a plain, simple yes. All right, the next question I'm going to be asking is about recommendation letters and supporting documents. So what exactly makes a strong recommendation letter for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship? And how do you think applicants can guide referees on how to make a good, write a good content, recommendation letter that has really good content? Anyone wants to help?
I think that's where a good relationship with your referees come into play, because they are going to be writing based on what they know you. So, and how they know you. So while you're building the relationship, you can just put good day, sir. I just finished my volunteering in this, so I've been leading this. I just got this award. They didn't ask you for that, but you're putting that in their head. So if they are giving you a recommendation letter, they know what to talk about because it is based on your relationship, and you want them to be able to talk about your leadership skills, the activities you have been doing, how good you are, and all that. They are not spirits. It's what you tell them. So you can be strategic with it and be updating them on your recent achievements. That's why you need to build that relationship, that rapport with them, because they have to write based on what they know about you. and how much good you are, your leadership experience, the achievements you've had, and what you are doing. So that's where you can be strategic with it. If you have achievements that you've things, tell them, oh, good afternoon, sir. I just got this achievement, I just got this. So they know you're building that rapport. And when time comes, they say, he has done this, he has done that, because that's how they talk about you. So one of the ways is because it needs to be strong in a way that it shows that you're a leader, it shows that you're active, it shows that you're humble, it shows that you can communicate. And the only way they can have that is when you tell them. And how you tell them is based on the relationship that you have with them. And that's why that relationship is important. That's why you have to be updating them and have that relationship with them, because it's when you talk to people and build that rapport that they get to know you. So they have to know you to put out something good for you.
Absolutely. Chooks, do you have
Can I
any
add?
additional? Yes, please.
Yeah, for me, I'm just gonna be as real as possible, because if you have good relationship, for me, I will probably like nudge the person, sir, can I write it first so you can edit it? Because these people are so busy, professors are busy. They may sometimes the person may not remember everything to put it in there, and if they don't show it back to you, they don't really know like the things that you are telling this committee and then what they are writing. So most often I try to like make sure like I put it in a way to like convince them for me to write it, and then they probably like edit it and then submit. I can remember one time, it was in one of my professor, he said, oh, Chooks, write a recommendation letter and send. And then when I wrote it, he now told me, oh, is this all you can write about yourself? I was surprised that he knows me, that he knows I've done a lot, that I should put more, I should write more stuff. So I think it's also like the relationship you have with them, and if possible, try to like write it and align it with what you have in your essay online, so they can just be like go hand in hand.
Or
Very
you can
true.
also send them your CV, send
I
them
was
your
about to
CV
say
and
that.
current achievements. Yeah, send them your CV so they can put all those things inside, so they can look at it and be able to put something together for you.
Very true. Thank you. I'm going to ask this question by Tohib. Tohib was asking about the Commonwealth. Yeah, Tohib says, thank you so much, Grace. I really learned from your presentation. You mentioned that there are a lot of essays and we should start early. I would love it if you could talk about the essay questions.
The essay questions are up to 12, so I might not be able to talk about it, but one of them is on your leadership experience. Three is about for your development impact and what you want to come and do. Then there is one for your career and study, why you choose the school, and what you intend to do when you come back. So the questions are 12. They're quite long, and we don't have that much time for me to keep explaining to you. But then the development impact one is one that is more important, and is about 3 development impact questions that they would ask you. They will ask you what you intend to do when you come back, and how you want to apply what you've learned. And they will ask you about your current study and why you chose the school, leadership. Then they will ask you your personal statement. There's a place for personal statement where you talk about your life history. But what I would say on that personal statement, people go there to look for pity and start saying I was poor. No, that's not what they're looking for. I come from a poor home. That's good. But they want to see in that personal statement, how did that experience shape you? How did it make you a better person? Yes, you come from a family that didn't have so much. How did it make you a stronger person? So if you put that forward for personal statement, it gives you a better chance than making it look so pitiful. They are not there because they even in their country, they have people that don't have, and there's poverty there too. So they're not coming to say, oh, if everybody comes to that story, they will not pick anybody. So they just want to see in that personal statement, how did that experience shape you become a better person? You didn't go to school, you didn't have this opportunity. How were you able to leverage on the little you have to be who you are at that point? So there are about 12 questions, and don't have that much time to go over all of them.
Yeah, and if you go back to Grace's slide, Grace talked about the STAR approach: situation, task, action, and then results. Because it's not enough to just share stories when you're sharing your development, impact, and all of that. You have to use this approach to present your story in a very strong way. So just to buttress what Grace has shared. So please take note of the STAR approach when you're writing your essays itself. The next question is from Abbas is asking, is there provision for married persons as in, can they bring in their spouse during the scholarship period?
For that, before you can bring in your spouse. So Commonwealth doesn't have influence on how many people you can bring. Give me a scholarship. You don't influence the 𝐾𝐍𝐸 and Home Office law or the people that give visas. They're not the ones that give visas. They give you a scholarship. And yes, they pay for your visa application, but they're not the ones that make the decision on your visa success. So you are bringing your person is based on the country immigration rules at that point. At the moment in the UK, if you're coming to study for a 1-year master's, you're not able to bring a dependent. Commonwealth will adhere to that. So they don't influence immigration rules. They give you the scholarship, you apply for the visa. If you get the visa, fine. And in cases where the visa is rejected, there's nothing they can do about it. But most of the time, the visas come out, but they don't influence immigration rules. Currently in the UK, you cannot bring a dependent when you're coming to study. That's the immigration rule at the moment. And that's what Commonwealth will be guided by. So they don't influence that. They're not the ones that make that decision.
Thank you very much for that. For the sake of time, I'm going to quickly answer these 2 questions. Chimia, you're asking for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. Do we apply to any other body apart from the CSC online portal? So specifically for the Commonwealth Scholarship, you're applying to both the CSC, Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, and the university itself. So you're applying to 2 bodies. So please take note of that for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. Chidubem is asking, does your
And for Commonwealth, there's a body in your country that will nominate you for Commonwealth that is not shared.
Yeah.
So for Commonwealth shared, there's school and Commonwealth. For Commonwealth Masters, there are bodies in your country that has to nominate you. So you have to find the body at that point in your country that is able to nominate you for the Commonwealth Scholarship, for the Commonwealth Masters. So just take note of that. So there's always a body for nomination. For the shared is the school. For the Masters, there is a body in your country that will nominate you. So you need to find out that body in your country that can nominate you.
Thank you for providing clarity on that. The next question is from Chidubem. Does your reference letter from your school necessarily have to come from a professor or someone in your department or faculty? Can I use a high-ranking non-academic staff I worked with, for instance?
For me,
For Commonwealth, okay.
You can go ahead. Okay. For me, what I did was I make sure my reference letters were coming from different angles, from my professors, from people I've worked with. I even received one from my high school French teacher because this was someone I really knew and she knew me very well. So I didn't really focus on getting all of them from professors. So I just have to distribute them from people I met across different strata of my life.
Great, Grace.
And just to add, is just for Commonwealth Scholarship, you at least 2 reference, and one must be academic. So you can have 1 academic and 1 professional. You can have the 3, 2 academic and 1 professional. But if you have at least 2, they will still continue with it. But there must be 1 academic reference, and then another professional. So it can be 2, there can be 3, or maybe 2 academic, but it has to come from 1, maybe your past lecturer or an academic reference. One must be academic. Then the other ones can be flexible.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to ask the next question about interviews. Do Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, do they do an interview? And if they do, what are the factors, what kind of questions can applicants expect? How should they prepare? And what do you think distinguishes successful applicants, during the selection stage?
Commonwealth does not do interview. Commonwealth
Okay.
as a body does not do interview. But your school, if you're doing shared, I don't know the school process. The school might decide to do interview. The school usually have their own separate selection process. So sometimes the school might ask you to write a separate essay for their own. And they will look at that and also look at the Commonwealth one you've written. So for Commonwealth, there's no interview. But if you're applying for shared, it's now tricky because the school might decide to want to interview their applicant if they have the time, or ask you to write a separate essay. So Commonwealth, no, but the school, depends on the school. They can decide to say, oh, they want to start interviewing their candidates.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, I think we've come to the end of the Q&A, but we're going to be wrapping up with one question to the scholars. Starting with Chooks, what do you think is your final piece of advice for anyone considering applying to the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, and what do you think that they should, make a high priority as they are starting their application?
I would say, like everyone has been mentioning, start early and try to like know what you're doing, like have a goal, like, because if you just want to write a random application, nobody's going to look at it. But then have a goal and then get information on what do I need to get to this goal. Look, do your research very well and look at loopholes. I think there are a lot of problems that still need to be solved in Africa, and we have a lot of things that we need to like still develop. So I think if you really like do your research very well, find these loopholes and try to like connect your essays with them, that will be like the ultimate way to get the scholarship.
Awesome. Thank you, Grace. What's your final piece of advice?
My final piece of advice is be ready to work. So be ready to work, because it's not an easy scholarship. Sometimes some of these schools, they have just 2 slots. Be ready to put in the work. You should have that mindset of being ready to work. And also, while you are working, have the right mindset and apply with a purpose. Thirdly, don't give up. However, no matter the amount of rejections you have, don't give up. There's always a space and chance for you. But while I'm saying be ready to work because as you're getting rejected, you are working on the things that has made them reject you. And you're not just getting tired. I've seen prospective scholars come to me and they're like, oh, I want to apply. And the very first time they see the essay question, you see them, they're not sending you any message again because they're already tired. They have not even put out the application. They are tired by seeing 12 questions. So just be ready to work because it's not free. They're spending nearly £100,000 on you. Convert it in whatever country currency you have. That's a lot of money. So you have to be ready to work to give them value for their money. Let them see that this person is going to give us value for our money. And for that, you need to work. That's the gospel truth. There's
Yeah.
no shady games when it comes to Commonwealth. You have to work.
All right. Thank you. Really, really want to say a big thank you to Grace and Chooks. It has been a very incredible, amazing, the vibes and the insights you share that I really find it valuable. So please, can you drop a thank you on the chat? Yeah, on Zoom, can you say a big thank you to our speakers and scholars? On YouTube, I want to see your thank you. So please put it all down. This has been a very, very insightful section. Yeah, so with everything our speakers have said, luckily with the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship is coming up really soon. So in preparation of that, and to just act upon what we have learned today about the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship and also building a brand as an aspiring scholars, we are going to be kickstarting the 7 days LinkedIn challenge. Woohoo! Starting exactly tomorrow, from tomorrow, Monday 28th October to Sunday 26th October. This is an opportunity for you to get to talk about your personal branding, your volunteer activities, your development activities that you're doing. This is a time to not be quiet or stay humble in quotes. This is a time to share the incredible things that you are doing and just let the world know that you're ready to make impact. So we're starting tomorrow. And again, please note that this LinkedIn challenge is an opportunity for you to build your personal brand, an opportunity for you to get to connect to academics and professionals in your field, and to just help you be more intentional and exactly implement what we have learned today. So really looking forward to that. So please note that this is not a get LinkedIn followers rich scheme. Again, it's just like a head start on your LinkedIn journey and to just build a brand on LinkedIn. So please take note of that. With that said, our next so information about the 7 days LinkedIn challenge will be shared on your accountability groups. Remember, we have 3 accountability groups. We have the beginners, we have the intermediate, and we have the achievers group. So daily prompts, daily information, daily updates, daily announcements will be shared on your groups. So please keep an eye out. And if you have someone that is, like just be ready to just engage, because again, the 7 days is about you putting yourself out there. And again, it's a community for you to see other persons doing it so that you can just get that nudge to take action for yourself. So with that said, the next webinar we'll be having is on the 2nd of November. We have 2 Erasmus Mundus scholars coming to speak to us on the topic Erasmus Mundus Success Stories, Lessons from Scholarship Winners. And it's happening on the 2nd of November. Remember, our webinars here in the Scholarship Bootcamp is once every 2 weeks. So please don't come on YouTube next week expecting for a webinar. It's the week after next week. So on the 2nd of November, we're having our next webinar. So please click on the YouTube channel here. We have all our webinars scheduled already, so you don't miss a thing. Click on the notification bell so you can get notified when we are up. And again, just keep an eye out on your community groups to just let you know any information. Currently, we have some Erasmus Mundus programs open. So this is a good time for you to prepare yourself ahead of it. Don't wait till the applications, are like few days away or few weeks away. So the speakers will be coming to speak about how you can use publications, how you can use academics, to just give yourself an edge. But as we have seen for most of the scholarships here, you don't have to wait till you're fully ready to apply. So again, this is an opportunity to give you a head start to your scholarship journey. And a final reminder that we are having the bootcamp ending on the 30th of November. So today actually marks halfway of the bootcamp. I am so excited because I can't believe felt like we just started yesterday. And this is our 3rd webinar and we literally have 3 more to go. So that's 3 gone and 3 to go. So really excited about how far we have come. And these are the extreme packages of scholars that we have. We've literally met about 6 of them now, and we're going to meet 6 more. Yeah, so please take note of everything in your calendars. Follow us on Instagram, on YouTube to get notified, on our LinkedIn page, because everything on the challenge is going to be like buzzing up there on LinkedIn. So please follow us on LinkedIn to also get to engage with us and also get to be updated. But with that said, I think we have come to the end of the session for today's bootcamp. I want to say a very big thank you once again to our scholars. I have personally learned a lot. And like I always say about the bootcamp, I really wish that I had something like this and I was looking for scholarships. So I'm really excited that our scholars are literally coming with their best shot. Honestly, the way they are sharing their stories, the strategies they are giving, like this is so top notch. And I'm really so excited that everyone is getting value for this. So we're going to be dropping the Instagram post on our WhatsApp page. So go tell your thank yous to them on our Instagram page. I know some of you are already dropping on YouTube, but just drop it on Instagram to just let them see and say, oh, thank you, thank you. But anyway, we've come to the end of tonight's session and a very big thank you to everyone. So see you on the 2nd of November. But again, our LinkedIn challenge is starting tomorrow. So see you tomorrow still. Thank you. Bye-bye. Whoa, we did it!
Thanks for